Welcome to your October new moon. I love the end of this year because as we get into October, November, December, the moon cycles switch so that we get a new moon at the new beginning of the month. So we're not seeing so much duality, which is great because the end of the year usually gives us this really intense pocket of energy where we can choose to start to program what's going to happen in 2021. And 2021 becomes this year of massive change. It's us having to do all the work from the foundation and everything we've been learning about ourselves from here in 2020 and what we've been building for ourselves to stand on that platform for growth. And then 2021 becomes really this true test of how much energy, how much work are we going to start to put into building the life and building the reality that we want, that we can stand on in the 2021 year. So this end of the year here in 2020, October, November, December. October is about programming. November is a gateway to walk through the energy and be that which we have been seeking to become. And then December becomes the big reconciliation month where we get to end the karma, get to close patterns and loops, and then really move forward into that new experience. And so here at this new moon date in October, again, the new moon date hits us when we're doing our new beginnings. And so this is really nice. It aligns. It means there's no more having to guess, no more having to try and do one thing, but then wait for the shadow side of it to come up and test us. We're in a pocket of energy now at the end of this year where the new moons and the full moons represent exactly what they are. There's no real test going on behind the scenes. We've learned what we've needed to learn. Hopefully we are living our truth and we're ready to do the work. So I tapped in, as probably is the new paradigm for me working with you. I tapped in before this knowing that things were going to change a little bit from the process that I typically do for you here at the new moon, and tapped in to see what energetically was going on. It felt like there needed to be a closed eyes meditation from me to understand what was happening, what was shifting. And as I did this, I think I was a bit too attached to maybe what would come up. And so it took quite some time for me to, usually when I'm too attached, I have to get, I get really sleepy in my meditation so that I can really detach from whatever I was bringing into it. And so in that, I was getting sleepier and sleepier and seeing only a little bit of information. And then all of a sudden, once it all released, I got what the energy was showing up to relay for you all here on this path as we're, again, at the beginning of October, learning to walk with our multidimensionality. And if you haven't watched that beginning of the month, pick your path video, if you don't know what path you're walking right here as you enter this new moon, then I encourage you to stop this, go watch that, because you might get just a little bit lost here. And so pick your path before you join me at this video. And if you already know your path, great, we'll discuss each, but let me tell you an anchor into what this October new moon is all about, or the information, right? It's not so much about the new moon, although it is in the greater sense of we are programming our reality here. We're programming ourselves to live more multidimensionally, get unattached from the cyclical patterns, get unattached from those schedules, right? Blue path, you're all about being the person who's leading the way, who's been trend-setting, who's been out there walking this path. And so your path was all about living in a really open, exposed way so that everything that you pull in is aligned to your truth. And what was going to keep you anchored this month in the physical were people and interactions. For the red path, walking the red path this month, and I have all my cards out here, so excuse me when I track. Everything from last month was perfect, right? The manifestation, the synchronicities, it's all about your mind, right? Everything that you've been carrying in your mind has been really aligning in different ways, whether it worked or didn't work. Your mind has been the thing that's been guiding you. And so, you know, the anchoring point for you in October and what you were programming was how to take what's in your mind and then understand when things show up up, and when things don't show up, how to spend your energy correctly, right? Where your mind goes, energy flows. So where is your bank account of energy being spent, right? Are you spending all of your energy on every single thought? If you are, that's old paradigm for you. That's old patterns. If you are waiting and allowing the mind to be so full, but waiting for the signs of what's showing up physically that represent those thoughts you've been having in your mind, and then once you see it show up physically, then you spend your energy on it, that is living multidimensionally. That is giving your attention and awareness to things that are meant to unfold for you. That is giving your attention to the highest path that will move you forward. So that's where we lie now with the red and blue path. And so the bigger perspective of living multidimensionally and what they wanted me to do for you this month was talk about a little bit of this timeline, right? So now if we go back to the full moon energy, or was it the new moon? The end of August, that video we did in the end of August, talking about the waves of ascension and what's shifting, and how August 15th was a shift point to get us to start living multidimensionally so that we could be ready for what that would look like moving forward for humanity. And so today they brought in a little bit of information on this, and they gave me a timeline that we're all here collectively a part of, which is 2023. And I know just saying that out loud might make some of you a bit resistant or say that's so far away. What do we need to know about this now? But it's really going to take living multidimensionally from today all the way up until 2023 to really start anchoring this. They talk about 2023 being one of these physical moments in time where we're going to start to see our living and working multidimensionally appear in this physical reality. And so it becomes one of these physical points in time that those who have learned how to do this, how to detach from the what we'll just call this physical plane of engagement, this very 3D paradigm, this very looped paradigm where we're all disconnected from one another. If you hold that, and if you're still working off of that paradigm come 2023, you're gonna again miss some of these amazing alignments that are coming in. And when I say amazing, I use that word because I really have no clue what it's gonna look like, but they're very adamant very lately about this, and so I'm just spreading the energetic word and the tools to get you to that point. So we're going to do this through both red and blue path. The energies are the same, but I'll explain it to you in how you're walking the path this month. So just to talk to you about what they're bringing through, we're aligning our personal chakra system from the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, up to the heart. And as we do this, what we're doing is we're allowing ourselves to reconnect to the universal grid. We're allowing ourselves to reconnect. Universal grid to me means the multidimensional living experience. And so basically when we live in full connection to the physical, emotional, mental, and then unity consciousness, we are living, breathing parts of this connected space where all humans recognize and realize that what I do, what I choose to do physically, what I choose to feel, what I choose to think, it's not just about me. This is not an individual experience. All of those levels and layers actually connect to the entire whole of humanity. And so when we can start living in that universal grid, living in that unity consciousness, or what I call multidimensionally, then we actually become these conduits that recognize the entanglement of everything. And so we don't just live for ourselves anymore. We live in the highest, greatest good and service to all beings while still serving ourselves. And so in this, they bring up these 4 points to start to click into and live from here through these first 4 chakras. And to start walking this way as you're learning how to click in and calculate in multidimensionally. So the first one that we're going to talk about, now I'm tracking down here, so excuse me when I'm focused down here, and I'm going to be tracking up there for your cards as well. So I've got about, 12 cards out in front of me that I'm reading, so just excuse me for looking at all these different things. So as we get into this first, the root chakra. So the root chakra, and what we want to talk about for your new beginning here, and what, you know, the new beginning, the new moon in October, again, we're programming ourselves. We're looking at ourselves like software that we can update, upgrade, and program so that we can be experiencing things in a new way. And so the first thing that they talk about here in the root chakra is really tapping into those things that we've suppressed, that we've buried down, that we've that we in essence have either denied ourselves, or that have made us too locked in to the paradigm, the foundation, that which we find ourselves working from right now. And so they bring this up as a reminder, and the energy that we all get here is about our sanctuary, the homes we're building for ourselves, right? And so in life, humans tend to build four walls around themselves and claim their home, claim their space in this world. And then those four walls become a symbolic representation of the walls that we put up, or our body, or these constraints, these limitations that we build around ourselves that lock us into a singular life experience, or a separation from everything else, right? Think of your house, anything that you would consider your sanctuary, anything that you've built in this world that you own, that's yours. And so this first click in is a reminder that during this new moon, during this new cycle, as you're starting to learn what it means to live multidimensionally, blue path, these people that are constantly pulling you back down into reality, and red path, your mind and all the beautiful things you can think, and then what signs show up to help you build the best reality moving forward, right? And so as we look at this, we're really reviewing these structures, these things, what can we consider makes our life happy, comfortable, like we have love, happiness, joy, connection around us, and the things that make us feel like we want to build and create and ground into this life. What aligns our heart into wanting to live into this world? What creates sanctuary? Think about it, for even a political view, the sanctuary cities that are there to protect those who feel like they have nothing, right? That they're being pushed out of society. And so what for you is creating sanctuary. And so this is where the first click in happens, because whatever for you makes you feel safe, makes you feel like there's sanctuary, makes you feel like there's some container around you that's got you here in this life, this is the first thing that comes up for review. And it's interesting because this is the first thing that came up for review when we clicked in at the end of August and did this reading. Sanctuary is a very big part. It's the stability. It's a very big part of what is shifting, what is transitioning. And so in essence, we're moving from anything that has to do with structure, anything that has to do with physical, and we're moving into an emotional understanding of sanctuary. And so instead of the home, the four walls you've built around you, or whatever it is that's quote unquote protecting you. It could even be your body, right? Maybe you've been dealing with health issues and you've been clearing your own body, your own temple here. And this is now what's facilitating safety, sanctuary in this world. Anything that you're attaching physicality to, a home, a city that protects you, your body that protects you, right? A career that protects you, anything like this. This is what's being broken down. This is what we are being in this multidimensional capacity. This is what we're the first structure that's coming down for us. And in essence, what we're being asked to do as we live multidimensionally and continue to program ourselves is to understand not just the physicality of what makes us feel safe, or like we have sanctuary, or like we have a protected place to go. It's really the feeling that gives us, because when we can identify what it is about a home, because think about an abused child that has to go home every day to an abusing parent. That home is not sanctuary. Maybe the school is sanctuary, right? So not every dwelling becomes this sanctuary, but there are certain things that in labeling a physical protection or a physical structure that gives us sanctuary, that gives us reprieve from everything that's outside of that structure, when we can actually identify the feelings of what we're longing for, the feelings of what make us feel like we're protected or safe, when we can connect to that and allow that to be what gives us sanctuary, then we can go out into the world and live completely free, but still have the feeling essence of what creates safety, sanctuary, this happy life, this willingness and want to live in full connection to life. And so what we're doing here in programming is we're resetting, we're updating our internal system and how we have understood things to be. Again, we're removing the physical structure here because physical structure brings limitation. It brings isolation. It brings separation. And to live multidimensionally, we have to know how we can go out into the world or be anywhere and feel how you feel when you're in that most protected or connected space, right? For most humans, that is their home. You can be yourself in your home. You can be completely authentic in your home. And so back to the red and blue path, as you are walking this and trying to understand how to live multidimensionally with this, remember, it's going to be the people that come up to either remind you of what it means to hold your sanctuary. So blue path, you're probably going to get some angry car drivers, some pissed off customers, or if you're in retail or customer service, you're going to get people showing up into your life that are going to try and take that feeling that you have when you are home and comfortable and feeling authentic and connected, when you go out into the world and start to connect to this feeling through every interaction, every place you go to, when you try and carry that sanctuary feeling as a feeling, not a structure around you, what's going to happen are people are going to show up to try and take this away. Red path, it's going to be your mind. Red path, you're easy. I'm just going to keep telling you, it's going to be your mind that tries to trick you. Your mind's going to try and pull you into a future projection, a past projection. Your mind's going to just be effing with you all month long, the rest of the month. Thank God we're here in the teens. And so red path, it's going to be your mind that tries to tell you, oh, we did it this way last time. Oh, sanctuary means this. Oh, it means this. And remember, anytime you're in your mind red path, it's dropping down and saying, whoa, I'm way too heavy here. Cancel that thought. Let's see what manifests in my physical reality. And for you, it can be then anything that manifests to help to bring you back into a feeling state that's going to then confirm what you were thinking and give you more clarity. So the next thing that we're evolving to in living multidimensionally and programming for ourselves this October is sacral chakra. As we move up to sacral chakra here, what we're bringing into the sacral chakra area to live multidimensionally is what we truly want. And this can be seeing the physical reality outside of you and trying to read. Humans are so good. We have, oh gosh, and maybe I'm not supposed to say this. I had it, and then as soon as I went like this, the word left me. We have mirror neurons in our mind, right? And these mirror neurons work beautifully at assessing how other humans are interpreting things and situations, how everybody around you is processing things, and then it tells us maybe we should be processing the same way. So these mirror neurons are constantly looking for cues in how everybody else, the collective, is dealing with things, processing things, and then tells you that, hey, if we want to be like everybody else, we should probably look and do and be like this. And so in essence, there are wants. Sacral chakra is all about creativity, passion. It's about how you want to spend this energy. Remember, root chakra in living multidimensionally is helping us to create an authentic vibration that is a feeling, that is something that is so true. It's our truth represented in a feeling. And I would take you to however you feel when you're in your most comfortable, sanctuary in this world, if it's in your garden, if it's with your grandchild, if it's in your bedroom with your pillow, whatever it is, wherever you feel most at peace, we're removing the physical structure or the physical of this, and we're just connecting to the energy. How does that make you feel? Now, once you know how that makes you feel, this is your authentic vibration. This is you in your most truest form. So now as we pull that up to sacral chakra, what we're doing is we're saying, how do I create that feeling? How do I find that feeling in everything I'm doing outside of me? And now what we get to is sacral chakra that we're releasing from the old paradigm is how we used to check in with other people to make sure how we are feeling matches how the collective is feeling. Because again, to walk as truth, to walk as your truth, you have to be willing to make choices that serve the highest, greatest good of your authenticity in a moment, which can shift the collective, because not everybody is holding on to their highest, truest vibration at all times. And what our natural tendency and our biology is telling us to do is, when we feel one way, let's check out there in the world and make sure everybody else is feeling the same way too before we completely express it, or before we align to this and make this our path in that moment. And so we have this ability to, I'm going to use the word, dumb ourselves down or dim our light so that other people don't get razzled by our so silly, by our dazzle, right? By our light, by our brilliance. And so this is a very human thing. And instead of, this is old paradigm, and it happens to me all the time. It happens to so many people. I watch it all the time. We tend to take ourselves into a lower vibration to not create ripples. And so what we're being asked to do now, once we establish what that sanctuary feeling is, that is the embodiment of our truth, raise it up to the next level. And now, when you're called to do things, when you want to do things, and that vibration is present in what you want to do, you're feeling that joy, that ecstasy, that passion, that you want to do it. And for whatever reason, maybe it's your partner who's like looking at you and looks sick, looks bored, looks disconnected, and you're trying to do something with them or for them, and they're just in a funk. And you look at them and you read them and you say, oh, maybe I need to be in a funk too. Okay, let's not do it. I see you're having a bad day. I see you're in an energy. Let's just stay home. Let's not do whatever this was. Yet in that moment, you were the clear channel for the highest vibration. In that moment, you had the ability to pull that person out of their funk and raise to a new vibrational level. Yet what we tend to do is match our mirror neurons to that which is the easiest to hold, which is usually the denser vibration, because it doesn't take energy. It doesn't take pulling somebody out of a funk. And so we tend to dim ourselves. So what you're being asked to do here in sacral chakra is keep your when you're feeling that vibration, you make the decisions that are going to ripple into affecting either people around you or situations around you. Again, blue path, you got it hard this time. You poor blue path people. It's because I have a feeling it's going to be your partners, your kids, your co-workers, your employees. It's like you're going to get this everywhere. Like, welcome to dense people land, blue path. You're probably, because this is the quickest way you're going to get tested and change. And be able to program and understand what this means. But if you can be the light amongst the darkness, everything's going to shift to that light vibration, right? One person laughing in a room can affect the whole room and get the whole room laughing, right? And so that's what we're talking about. So blue path, get ready for meeting some dense people and having to hold true to what you feel is here, and figuring out how to live that no matter what kind of adversity in emotion or density these people are holding around you. Red path for you, it's going to be all about, again, the mind telling you that oh, you know, this situation, maybe it should be this way, or oh, maybe I'm doing too much, or maybe I got this wrong. Your mind, again, it's going to play tricks on you. It's going to try and pull you into past patterns or controlling situations to try and serve what happened in the past. So red path, it's for you, it's a mind game. Again, when you just feel too heavy here, sink back down into the emotion. Red path, you got the easy path, living multidimensionally. Blue path, you got the BS path. I'm sorry. Red path, so for you, but it's going to be hard for each of you in your own way, because red path, you have a tendency to just whoop, come up here and stay above it and stay in your own head. And you got to really anchor down into the feeling and cultivate that feeling and know that's the truth of it. So what this does, when you can do this, you literally transcend, you raise the vibration of everything. It's a transcending energy. It opens up divine flow for everything. If you can hold on to your truth in the face of whatever the density is around you, you have the ability to shift that entire collective into a new space. So the next one that we rise into is solar plexus chakra. And when we talk about solar plexus chakra here, it's going to be about bringing in the human element. And so this is all about the facts coming to light. This is about your identity, the old identity being shown to you. And so this is where you're going to get the first glimpse of what we've been talking about for this mirror reality. I've been talking about for this mirror reality. Basically what happens here is there's going to be, this will be the breakthrough moment where, in the beginning of the month, I said, you know, this month is all about, and this month, this whole pocket of energy we're living in that we're calling the mirror reality, it's all about the big face-off. It's the face-off with yourself, with the low self and the high self. And so in essence, what's happening here, as you rise to solar plexus chakra, since you'll have lived multidimensionally, cultivated an understanding of what your truth is through a vibration, through a feeling, and then started to live this in shifting people to match your feeling instead of you dimming down to match the density of what the situation is. By doing this step by step, stage by stage, when you get to this point, it's going to be a really clear picture of, this is the old me that I created. This is the me that is living in a physical paradigm that has labels, that has identities, that has a pattern in how he or she does things. And so this solar plexus chakra, again, holding on to the energy, whatever that sanctuary, whatever that happy vibration energy is, and it doesn't have to be happy, but whatever that feeling energy is that you identify, that makes you feel like you can completely be yourself. Whatever that is, as you get up here, that's going to be your high self energy. That's going to be the truth of it. And what's going to happen as you get to this solar plexus chakra level is everything that's out of alignment with that in your life is going to come up for review. And so this is where the crazy stuff starts to happen, because you're literally seeing facets of yourself that have been living in different energies. And what this does is it shows you where you've been living a very fragmented life. And so you could be one personality at work. You could be one personality with your kids. You could be one personality with your partner, right? And you could be one personality when you're out with your friends and in public and whatever it is. All these different things that you do, all these different components of your life that you show up for, you're going to start to realize, oh my gosh, I'm only my most authentic vibration in two of those things. The other three things, I'm a version of myself that I don't like. There's none of that energy that's authentic. How come there's no authentic energy in my work, when I go out with friends, and when I'm in public? I can't even feel that vibration that's true to me. And what you're going to start to do is realize where your life is completely out of balance. And this is going to show you the face-off. It's going to show you where you've been living in untruth, living in pattern, living in a perpetual cycle that's repeating density, that's keeping you locked into denser, lower patterned experiences. And so what you're going to have the opportunity to do is either try and hold space and infuse that, or that might mean your entire friend collective is done, right? Maybe you've partnered with friends that are representing the old dense side of you. And those friends, some might come along with you as you shift and want to do new things, or do things with those friends that match your energy level. And then some of those friends might not follow you and might leave. And so for red path, what this means is you're going to second guess. You're gonna try and riddle away why certain things are happening, why the low self needs to be a certain way. Well, I'm a doctor, and a doctor can't always be goofy and silly and this authentic laughing vibration. That can't be. I have to run my OR a certain way, and people expect authority and da 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 da. All the lies you're going to tell yourself to try and hold on to that version of you that acts a certain way when it is completely out of alignment to your authentic vibration, your authentic truth. And so this is going to come up for you, red path. Your mind is going to try and tell you why you need to hold on to an identity a certain way, and it is your ego trying to fight to hold on to control of what it knows. And so blue path for you, again, it's going to be, this will be a helpful one, blue path, not so much density with the people. Lots of people showing up to basically reflect in you, just again, it's that friend situation, it's the co-worker situation. People are going to show up and really help to reflect certain identities, archetypes that get played through you in certain situations. And so just being really present will help you align to that and know if you're living in vibration to your truth or if you're not. And again, this is all helping you to see how you live multidimensionally and get out of the patterns. So the last thing, the heart chakra, as we move up into the heart chakra, this becomes this staying centered with it all. So if you at the heart chakra level, this is the unity conscious, this is where we're going, this is the universal time grid, this is multidimensionality, this is unity consciousness, this is where we become our unique vibration, and we can do it in whatever situation presents itself. And so this is the ultimate goal of clicking in here. And what happens here, what happens to us here is we will naturally try to get pulled out. It'll try and pull us from this center, right? And the center here is whatever this authentic vibration, this authentic feeling you've identified is. It'll try and pull you out, get you to have experiences outside of that. It'll try and it will try and pull you as far away from that vibration as humanly possible, and then see if you can come back to it, right? And so this is going to be the boomerang test to see how far away from that truth can you be pulled and still recognize that this is the truth of me. Because when you click into the unity plane, basically it's all about you, but it's also all about everybody else. And so there's a lot of opening that comes in here. There's a lot of new experiences that come in here. There's a lot of, we'll call it tests, initiations, but also it's just a heightened sensitivity level. And so the goal is to see if you can have multiple experiences and recognize this is an experience that aligns to me. This is not an experience that aligns to me. And how is this different from solar plexus chakra? Solar plexus chakra is all about you. These are the things you choose to do day in, day out, your agenda, what you work as, who you are with your family, what obligations you have. This is about your identity at solar plexus chakra. Heart chakra, it's about turning left, going into a gas station and having an experience there that was not a part of your agenda today. This is a much more expansive field, and it's going to be outside of your identity, which means there's not a typical response. There's not a programmed response. And so in essence, there's going to be on the spot free will decisions that are made. And those decisions will then have you either aligned to who you are and the truth of you, or it's going to take you out of that. And so this is where a lot of your passion comes in. Let me flip this. It's a lot of calculating, recalculating. It's a lot of then when you're in this level, it's again, because they're unknown experiences, they're things that you don't have typical responses or interactions with. So they're already new experiences. And then on top of that, you're trying to then reconcile, is this in alignment to me or is this out of alignment to me? And again, this is working in the unity plane. And so this is you bringing your highest vibration to the world and sharing that with the world. And so when that happens, there's an artistry that you learn here. You know, are you a painter that uses acrylics, or are you a painter that uses oils, right? So there's going to be a learned flow of how you get pulled out and then come back in, and how you get pulled out here and come back in. And what that means to me is there's going to be a play, there's going to be a dance that ends up happening here, and your mind is going to be involved, and then your mind is going to try and understand what you're feeling. And so it's going to be learned, and it's going to be expressed through you, different than me, different than the person next to us, right? So we're all going to learn how to play in this way, and play in this field in our own unique way. And that's where really a different identity and a different way of being will arise. And that is what we're looking for, because that is what transcends everything else. And then that's what will help us stay multidimensional and have expansive experiences all the time without fear that we need to control it, that we need to know what we're getting ourselves into, that we have to box it in to understand it. We can go out into the world and say yes to everything and know if it's aligned to us, and know when to get out of it, right? So it just becomes this really beautiful dance that does not box us into one life experience, and it allows us to be everything. So that is your red and blue path for this month. I know it's a little bit different, but this is a new beginning. This is, in essence, again, they tell me 2023, the first 6 months of 2023 are going to be really important in honor of being very expansive, being this energy. And so again, what's my job here? My job is just to help you learn how to understand what it means to be multidimensional and to get out of those physical patterns, because the physical patterns are keeping you separated from a whole potential of life experiences that will be needed, and that's what it seems like. It's like you being expansive is what's going to be needed desperately in that beginning of the year of 2023, and to be able to not have an ego, let go of old paradigm, and just be able to say yes, and then calculate in that moment to align things to your truth is going to be what the energy is being called for right now anyways, or at least this preliminary step to get you into kind of understanding how to live that way. So if you don't have the app, downloading the Chakra Deck app truly supports everything that I do. So here with Chakras Root to Crown, so please, it's a free app, and you can do daily guidance there. You can find all these videos there once you pick your path. If you want to go a step further, you can sign up for our membership. We have free membership, but there's also paid membership starting as low as $7 levels with an amazing meditation library that supports everything we do so much. So if you want to go a little bit deeper, please do and support everything we do at Chakras Root to Crown. And then anything else, please don't hesitate to comment, and I'm always here for you. So with so much light and love for this programming month and the new beginning here in October.
If what you seek is seeking you, then what are you looking for?
There's a part of you that wants to expand, it wants to grow, and it wants to feel much better than it already does.
This membership program offers courses to change your reactions and tools to expand your perspective.
They're tools. They're just trying to amplify what's already there, make you a better version of self. This is the first time I felt full in my entire life.
Guided meditations and live interactions will bring validation.
Going through these rebirths, or this evolution, this form of change, this shift, it is the most exciting part.
Explore your potential, embrace your gifts, and empower your life.